All right, guys, we're going to continue on with piecewise functions. This is Unit 2, Learning Target 8. All right, remember, a piecewise function is parts or pieces of two or more functions on one grid. All right, so we're going to go scroll down to our last example. And we have h of x equals, and then it's split into two functions. So remember, we're going to color code here. We're going to take the first one and write it over here. So 2x minus 3. And it's on the interval of x is less than 0. Okay. So what we need to remember and think about, is this an open circle or a closed circle? Okay. This is going to be an open circle. All right. And it's after the x. So that's our end number for our interval. Notice that there's no start. All right. So that means our start is going to be where we start on the grid. So remember, we're going to make a table. And we start on our grid at -10. And we're going to end at 0. So let's take a look. We're going to type it into y equals 2x minus 3. And let's peek at the graph real fast. And look, it doesn't even really start at -10. It starts at maybe on our grid at like -5. So now we're going to go to the table. We're going to scroll up and see when can we start graphing on this. And here we are at -3, -9. So we don't even need that -10. All right, so -3, -9, -2, -7, -1, -5, 0, -3. And remember, that's where we're stopping. All right. So we're going to circle that because it's an open circle, and that's our end. So now let's come to the table, or come to the graph, and we're going to graph our points. Okay, remember, an open circle at 0, -3. And then all the rest are just regular points. So -3, -9 is down here. -2, -7. -1, -5. And we're going to go ahead and connect. And since there is no start, we're going to have an arrow on this one. All right, that's our first equation. Our second equation we'll do in purple. All right, and we've got x squared minus 4x minus 5. And our interval here is 0 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 5. And again, we're just going to annotate it a little bit. Okay, it's or equal to, so I'm going to box it in. All right, or equal to means it's a closed circle. All right, and this one is the first number. It comes before the x in the interval. So this is our start for the table, for the interval. All right, the end one is also going to be a closed circle. All right, and we're going to end at 5. So this one does not go on for forever. All right, so again, I'm going to get out my calculator because we're going to have to fill out our table. I've got x squared minus 4x minus 5. All right, and I'm going to take a look at the graph again. All right, and it's a quadratic function because it's a U shape. All right, let's make our table now. And I'm going to start at 0, and I'm going to end at 5, and I'm going to fill in all the spots in between. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Remember, this is a closed circle, and this is a closed circle. Okay. Now we'll go to the table so we can finish out copying this down, and we're starting at 0. So 0 is -5, 1 is -8, 2 is -9, 3 is -8, 4 is -5, and 5 is 0. Now let's go to our grid and actually plot these points. Okay, 0, -5 is a closed circle. 1, -8 is a regular point. 2, -9. 3, -8. 4, -5, and then 5, 0 is also a closed circle. So we're just going to make it nice and obvious that it's a closed circle. Okay, and then we connect them. And there's our piecewise function h of x.